Hold on 1 second. I messed up. Um. Hope y'all are having a great day. Sorry.
Charlie,
Huh?
I'm gonna have a little message with the missionary, so I'll call you back, okay?
Okay.
All right, see you in a few minutes. Because it's about time for live. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okie dokes. What the heck? Sorry, guys. Guys, I don't know what's going on. My computer is being stupid. Sorry for being so quiet. Having issues with my printer, trying to print the thing for today, and it is just being completely stupid. So, I have no idea what's going on with it, but it needs to get this figured out. It really truly does, because I need this to work. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. Not connected to printer. Well, I don't know if you can see me or not. Okay, anyway, hope y'all are having a great week so far. And I also hope that you've been able to get out and do some home teaching. Or not home teaching. I don't know what I'm thinking. I would really like to just restart, but I can't. So, goof ups or not, you're stuck with me. Am I right? I'm right. Because I'm always right. Right? Not. Okay, let's see. I have your weekly recap ready. I've done one video, one short, 3 live streams, and 4 posts, supposedly this week or last week. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, it is what it is. Today's live, as the name suggests, we are going to be talking about animals that live deep in the ocean. The only problem is my lovely computer did not print all the pages. So I don't know what's what at all. So we'll just have to go with it and hope I can figure it out, because it's not making a whole lot of sense. I promise I am going to be doing videos this week. I'll probably film some today and post one. Just been bogged down lately. Maybe I'm going through a little bit of burnout, but I'll be okay. So today's topic is denizens of the deep. We're not going to be talking about everything that lives in the deep, dark ocean. I have handpicked some of those animals for today, and we're going to go with what I have. And we might revisit some of these once people come in, because right now there's nobody in. So, there are a ton of animals that live within these deep sections of the ocean. And we know some of them, but there's probably a ton more that we don't know about. And we view these animals either through videos on submersibles or remote viewing cameras. They may get washed up on beaches after they've died. They might get sighted in the upper parts of the ocean. They might get caught in fishing gear. But whatever the case is, most of them are fairly interesting. And we're going to be talking about some of what I consider to be some of the more interesting species. Today, we're going to be talking about the giant isopod, deep sea anglerfish, the common fangtooth, I think it is, frilled shark, blunt-nosed six-gill sharks, giant tube worms, squat lobster, coelacanths, gulper eels, vampire squid. So a whole mess of animals that we're going to be looking at here. And so, yeah, let's sort of get into it and we'll come back. Giant isopods. Now, this is an animal that gets to be 16 inches long. They are the largest of their kind, hence the giants. They live more than 1,600 feet below the surface, and these guys will scavenge off whatever falls down to the bottom of the ocean. And there isn't a lot to eat down here, so sometimes it's feast or famine. But they're going to take advantage of whatever works its way down into the ocean or into the bottom. These guys are said to go 4 years without eating. Fun fact, these guys are related to the pillbugs or roly-polies that you may find underneath wood in various places up here. The next one I want to talk about, or the next thing I want to talk about isn't so much an animal, but a lot of animals that live down in these depths use what is called bioluminescence. Now, sometimes this is chemical, other times it's caused by bacteria. But the idea is that it can be used as a lure to attract prey or to maybe help them see. Sometimes it is used to attract mates. Now, most of the animals that we're going to be looking at today use the bioluminescence to attract food. Why is it every time the phone rings? Every time. I'm about done with it. And it's not even my phone. That's the sad part. So, yeah. So, that's a big part of living in the deep sea. You also have to be adapted to live with the pressure because it's crazy pressure down there. You have to have special subs and special equipment to deal with the pressure because there was one animal that I thought about using in today's live that lives in the Mariana Trench, and it lives at a point where the pressure is so high it's like having the Eiffel Tower on your big toe. So crazy pressure. One of these animals actually lives along the rifts that develop within the oceans. And so you get these big chimneys, and those chimneys give off really hot water as well as chemicals, minerals. And they become actual pockets of life. So very interesting. So the animals that live in these areas, they have to deal with the fact that there's no light. They have to deal with the fact that there may or may not be food. And they have to be able to find a mate. And in most cases, it is pitch black. So those are hurdles that some of these animals, most of these animals, have to deal with. The next animal I want to talk about is one animal that has figured out how to deal with the fact that mates may not come around that often. And that is the deep sea angler. Now, this is an animal where the females actually have a lure that sits on the head, and this helps bring in fish that the anglerfish lives on. Now, these fish can get to be 3 feet long, and only the females have lures, and there's a reason for that. The males don't have lures, like we've said, and they are basically free swimming until they find a female. And once they find a female, they will attach, they will bite the female and attach to the female, and eventually merge with the female so that they literally are parasites. And they're there mainly to fertilize the female's eggs. At the same time, they're not really parasites because they do fulfill a need, but they also are fed by the female, so there's that. Now, the next one that I wanted to talk about, and I don't know where this stuff went to, is the frilled shark. And this is a deep sea dweller. It lives around 1,600 feet below the surface. They have 25 rows of triangular teeth. And around 300 of these little teeth. They can grow to be 5 to 6 feet long. And while they are considered to be harmless, scientists have been known to cut themselves on the teeth. And they have a preference for squid, but they do eat other fish as well, and even sharks. Talking about sharks, the next guy that we're going to talk about is the blunt nose 6-gill shark. And these guys are a deep sea dwelling shark. They live at depths of around 6,500. This is an active predator. They go out in search of food. These fish can grow to be around 16 feet long, so they are pretty good sized. They feed on flounder, cod, hagfish, which is surprising. We will talk about hagfish at a later date. Lamprey at a later date. stingrays, dogfish, and other sharks. They do have a special organ that's pretty cool. That sits near the eyes, and it actually allows them to take in 7 times more light into the brain, which helps them see better. The next one that I want to talk about is an invertebrate, something that there's a lot of actually in the deep sea. This one is a tube worm, and these guys are big. I do want to tell you that we will be going back and talking about these animals once people come in. That way I can get some interaction going, because right now it's just me and you sitting on opposite sides of the camera. So these giant tube worms that we're going to be talking about, these are an organism that lives in a very hostile environment. Very, very hostile. Not only do they have to deal with the pressure, they also have to deal with chemicals in the water, minerals in the water, as well as heat. Now the water, like I said, these guys live around chimneys, so it's a built up chimney that lets out water and chemicals into the water. I keep saying chemicals, it's minerals. The water is around 660 degrees Fahrenheit. And these tube worms are pretty good sized. They get to be 8 feet tall, they have no mouth, and they lack a digestive system. However, they do get nourishment, and that nourishment comes from bacteria that lives inside the body and provides all the nutrients that the animal needs. And they were first discovered in 1977 off the coast of the Galapagos Islands. Fun fact, they can grow 33 inches in 1 year. The next animal I want to talk about is the squat lobster. And you're thinking, what? This is a lobster that is more closely related to maybe you have these for pets, the hermit crab. These guys are blind, they're soft, they don't carry a shell around with them. Instead, they find a hiding place, they tuck themselves into that hiding place with only their claws hanging out. Now, these animals are also unique in that they only feed, well, some of them feed on wood that comes down. Some of them feed on whale bones, while others actually feed on the shells of sea turtles. So a very interesting diet. The coelacanth, this is a fish that we thought was extinct. Their scales are pretty unique, and they are only found in fish species that have gone extinct. So these fish scales are only known from prehistoric or extinct fish. They can weigh up to 175 pounds, so this is not a small fish. They have a deep blue color, which allows them to hide from predators. A color that is very common in deep sea animals is red, although some are not. All of the deep sea organisms are red. These fish are sensitive to lights, and their deep blue color, I already mentioned that. In 1938, fishermen off the coast of South Africa caught one of these fish alive. It is listed as an endangered species. Now, sadly, this fish could go extinct within my lifetime, which is really sad. Super, super sad. Its mouth is larger. Sorry, I skipped ahead. Gulper eel. its mouth is larger than its stomach. And we believe that it uses light-producing organs to attract prey. These guys can grow to 3 to 6 feet, and it's known to feed on shrimp, squid, and other invertebrates. You know what? I gotta check something. Because I'm not having anybody coming in. I just have to check something, guys. Well, weird. Anyways, these guys are going to feed on shrimp, squid, and other invertebrates. And they seem to find mates via pheromones that are given off. Which, if you think about it, makes a whole lot of sense because, well, it just does. One of my favorite animals is the vampire squid, and I always assumed that it was a pretty good-sized animal, but it's not. It's only like 6 inches. Despite its name, this squid is totally harmless to humans. And yeah, it's the only member of its family alive today. It was originally thought to be an octopus of all things. Unlike other squid who give off, not give off, but they can change color to advertise their moods and to communicate with other squid. This squid cannot do that for whatever reason. They do have bioluminescent organs that it can turn on and off. Not really sure why, but perhaps for protection. They can become totally invisible, and they are a deep red color. For defense, it ejects a glowing cloud of mucus. It eats a variety of organisms, including prawns, jellyfish, and in return, they are fed upon by seals, whales, and other fish. They live in water that is between 35 and 43 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold for an animal that is probably cold-blooded. And they can be found between 300 feet and 3,000 feet. So I'm assuming animals that live deep in the ocean probably have some way of regulating their metabolism. I'm not certain, but I think that's the end. So if you were here, that'd be a good time for you to leave because it is done. But I'm waiting for people to come in. Plus, I've only been on for 30 minutes, so yeah. So we shall see what happens. I need to decide if lives are worth it. I think they are. Don't know what I'm doing next week. Let me go through, because I did not finish the recap. So let me go through that right now for you. We had 1 video, 1 short, 3 live streams, and 4 posts last week. We had 1.7 thousand people tune in to see me. We got 5 new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Top videos again were Organism of the Week, Giant Squid, Whale Tales, and 2 groups of whales. I don't know why those videos are so well liked. Somebody please tell me. We had 17 likes, 8 shares, and 2 comments last week. Really cool. What you think was the most viewed video of the week? Was it? I don't know if I can do more than one. No, I can't. Okay. Put it in the comments if it was 2 groups of whales, Whale Tales, or Organism of the Week, Giant Squid, and I will get back to you on that at a later date. So yeah, there's that. And I'm thinking of doing some sorry, all that noise is me trying to figure out stuff. Hello. You know, I printed off the list of the animals that I typed up, and I have stuff missing. I don't know where it went. Can't find it. Hello, hello, hello. I don't want that open. How do I close that? Okay, so starting from scratch so that people can hear me. Giant isopods. Yes, we're going over this again for those of you that are watching this previously. Like I said, this is for people in chat. Giant isopods. Now, you may or may not have heard of these guys. They get to be 16 inches long, so they're pretty good sized. They are the largest of their kind. The ones we have around here, they're tiny. I mean, they're small, pretty small. But these guys get to be way bigger than that, and they're more than 1,600 feet below the surface. These guys are going to eat whatever comes down to them. And there isn't a lot to eat down here, so these guys take advantage of whatever comes their way. They can go 4 years without eating. And fun fact, they are related to the roly-polies and the pill bugs that live around us. Now, these deep-sea anglers. Oh, and by the way, if you have questions as we're going through this, don't forget to put them into the chat because I can't hear you. So, and there, by the way, I can't say this enough. There is no such thing as a dumb question. So if you have a question, big or small, put it into chat. If I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer. Plain and simple. Now, back to the deep sea angler. This is a predatory fish, and it uses the bioluminescent lure to bring in fish. These fish can grow to be 3 feet long. Not all of them do. Now, only the females have that lure, and there is a very, very special reason why. The males are free swimming down there in the deep until they find a female. The minute they find a female, they bite, and then the female kind of basically attaches them to her. They no longer are free swimming at this point, and they will spend the rest of their lives attached to the female. They basically become reproductive organs. And yeah, they're there to fertilize eggs. I am missing 2 animals. I don't know what happened. Carol, I'm going to disappear for a second. Hopefully, this thing will still work, because I want to cover the animals that I don't have listed on my sheet. And there actually are.